Hey there, Diana from Adirondack Girl at Heart. Today I'm coming to you from my kitchen table because the lighting in the Northeast during the winter time is not very dependable, and today ended up being a little bit dark outside, so I'm sitting in front of my sliding glass doors that look out onto my backyard. So today I'm going to be showing you some of my vintage finds. I'll be sharing the price I paid for each item and then what I think each is worth. You can find more videos on my YouTube channel. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. And my blog, Adirondack Girl at Heart, has loads and loads of information about vintage and antiques and about buying and selling them. So I have a lot to show you today, so let's jump in. I'm going to show you two sort of baskets. First is this really beautifully made ash splint basket with a checkerboard bottom. The ash splint baskets are very light and very tightly woven. This one has a couple of condition issues. There's a little tiny break there. There's I don't know if it's a stain or a burn, but I've been working on taking that spot out. But believe it or not, this basket cost 69 cents at a local thrift store, and if it were in perfect condition, I would price it in the probably $45 to $55. I'm gonna have to, like I said, work on some of these little issues, but that was a super fun buy, as was this wicker wrapped demijohn green, pale green bottle. I paid $5 for it, and it is also worth somewhere in the $45 to $55 range. But so far I haven't actually sold any of my wicker wrapped bottles. I have been keeping them, but I may start selling them off. Following me on Instagram, you may have seen a reel I did recently about this putz house and this one right here. I picked them up at an antique shop, Glenwood Manor in Glens Falls, New York. I paid a little bit more than I typically would because they're in really great condition. They are larger. They are a larger size than the really small ones that are much more commonly found. And yeah, I kind of fell in love with them. So the church was 10, and the house with this really nice, I almost suspect that it's a feather tree, but I'm gonna just have to take a closer look at that. This one was 12, and they are marked Japan on the bottom, along with a price of 25 cents. Isn't that amazing? 25 cents. So I think that they are each worth separately about $30 to $32, possibly $35, something like that. I picked up a couple of ornaments for $1/4 each at an estate sale. That's a little like tapestry kind of Santa stocking, $5 to $6. This Santa, he's on a pick, so he probably came in a floral arrangement, but I thought he was handsome, and I liked the bottle brush wreath that he had in his hand, and I hope to sell him in the $18 to $22 range is what I'm thinking on him. And then a little metal violin, 69 cents, 79 cents. I picked this little pitcher with a little molded decoration right there for $3.99. It's not marked on the bottom, so I'm going to call it American, an antique piece of American ironstone. These have been selling for $25 to $30 for me on Etsy, and I have a whole blog post about that, how well they're doing on Etsy. And last night we made a stop at a local Goodwill on the way back from restocking my antique booth at the Grist Mill Antique Center in Troy, and I found 3 pieces of really pretty ironstone. This one has an acorn and oak leaf decoration right here on the lip, and then this downward ribbing. It is not marked. Each piece was $2.99. It's crazy prices. And like I said, it's unmarked, so I would call this an American piece of ironstone, late 1800s, early 1900s, and I will price it at $25 to $35 again on Etsy. And here are the other 2 pieces. One is a pitcher similar to the one that I just showed you, and this has an anthus leaf design right here on the handle, but also underneath the handle, which is very pretty. It is English. It has a date, an embossed or an incised date mark there, but not a maker mark. So I'm not sure who made it. I'm going to say mid to late 1800s, and again, it was $2.99, and it should sell for about $30 to $35 on Etsy is what I'm expecting. And then here's the 3rd piece, really, really nice, with a blue tinge that you come to expect from English ironstone. This piece is marked T. Goodfellow. That's a new maker for me. See that on the bottom with the lion and the unicorn mark. And again, it was $2.99 and should sell for $30 to $35. Okay, I picked up 2 plates embossed with a wheat design around the edge. Actually, these are probably soup bowls, a very shallow soup bowl, and it's Wilkinson, England. This is a later piece of ironstone. I'm going to say early 19th century, maybe even into the 1930s, but they were on sale at a rural town that we visited, a Salvation Army. They were half price. I think it was a yellow tag. All the yellow tags were half price, so it was 99 cents, and I picked up 2 of them in absolutely perfect condition. And I will probably try selling them first from my antique booth in the probably $15 to $20 range. I think on Etsy they would do better, but I get nervous about shipping, you know, really large things. So, and then 2, what I'm gonna call soap dishes. These are new pieces made in England, but because they are heavy like ironstone and just so simple and attractive, I picked them up. They were 29 cents each. So slap a bar of soap in there and I think they'll sell for about $10 each. These have been selling on Etsy for about $25. The mark is a sort of a Gothic CAC china, and I'm not familiar with that mark. A set of 3 little egg cups. They were $1 for the set. I hope they'll sell for about $25. And then many of you know I have a miniature picture collection, and I try to keep it, you know, under control. It's not massive, but when I see something that I really like, I have to pick it up. So these came from that Goodwill that we shopped last night, where I got the 3 pieces of ironstone, and these were just 99 cents each. Probably like Austrian. This one, the tag, yeah, no marks on either of them, but Austrian porcelain is what I would call them. If I were going to sell them, I would put them in the $10 to $12 range. And I do have a blog post about collecting miniature pictures that I'll link in the description. So that is it for the ironstone. Here's a couple of other pieces of pottery, stoneware, that sort of thing. This is a little spatterware stoneware pitcher. I'm thinking that maybe it had alcohol originally, that it was a little miniature alcohol. I'm not sure. It was, I think it was 75 cents. And I'll put probably $10 on that, sell that for $10. I just really liked this. Very simple. It's very light earthenware, nothing fancy. 50 cents, not marked on the bottom, but I liked the shape and I liked that design, and I would put $8 on that. And here's a piece. It's a museum replica, really perfectly marked on the bottom. It's from the American Museum of Artwork, I believe. A spatterware crockery, piece of crockery, and with this really nice green stripe on it. It was $4, and I will sell it for about $25 to $28. Really nice majolica plate, little dish, marked on the back, made in Portugal. Perfect condition. I am planning an article about majolica. This piece, I believe, it's not really early, it's later, but I believe it would sell for about $15 to $18, something like that. Okay, let's look at some glassware. At the same Salvation Army that I picked up those shallow soup bowls, the Ironstone soup bowls, I picked up 2 pieces of pressed glass. And actually it was green. It was the green tag that was half off, because this was half off. It's marked $2.99, so I paid $1.49 for that. Pressed glass is not selling, period, in my area. I haven't tried it on eBay or Etsy, but from my antique booth, it is absolutely not selling. I would call this a celery vase. Back in Victorian times, they would have stuck their celery in there, and then, I don't know, as an appetizer or palate cleanser, I don't know, but I couldn't pass it up because it is literally in perfect condition, and I think it's really beautiful. So sometimes I do that. I usually try not to, but not only was there this piece, but there was this piece also, which I would call a spooner. You would have put your spoons in there with the bowls upright, and for easy access. It was also half off of $2.99, so it was $1.50. So yeah, so I'll maybe write about them. I may try them on eBay, do a little investigating and see if anybody anywhere is buying them. So that's pressed glass. 2 more pieces of pressed glass. One is a little pitcher, so you know that I'm adding that to my collection. It has a daisy and button pattern. So this is the daisy, it's floral pattern right there, and then interspersed are these little buttons, and that's where it gets its name, daisy and button. Pressed glass, master salt. So Victorians, when they sat down to dinner, would have a little glass or ceramic or maybe silver dish with a tiny little spoon filled with salt. Everyone had their own little salt cellar to serve themselves salt. The head, whoever was at the head of the table, would have had a master salt to refill your personal salt. And this one was $1.50 at a local thrift store, and salts sell, even clear glass pressed ones. So this one should sell for about $10. I picked up an Aqua Atlas canning jar. It's about a pint. I would say it's about a pint. It didn't have a lid. It was $2. Canning jars sell really, really well for me from my antique booth, and I do have several articles on my website about canning jars if you want to learn some more about them. Picked up a rose bowl, fish bowl, cobalt blue. I don't buy and sell a lot of glass, but cobalt definitely seems to sell fairly well, so I picked this one up for $1. I think it was $1.49 or $1.99, and I will price it at about $18 to $22. These 2, we'll call them wall art. The hanger actually is broken on that one, but for $2, I picked up 2. They are just really pretty little pieces, and I hope to sell them for about, I'm gonna say $15 to $18 on those. And how about some craft items? At an estate sale recently, I picked up these three rolls of ribbon, almost completely full. I mean, this is yards and yards. Does it say on there how many yards? 50 yards. I'm tempted to cut off some yardage, maybe sell them 3 yards at a time. That seems to be popular on Etsy. I tend to be lazy, so I will probably sell them as a roll, full roll. They were $1 each, and I think I can get about $20 for each of these rolls. I've sold other rolls of ribbon on eBay and done really well with them, but for some reason I'm feeling like I want to try these on Etsy, so I'll report back about those. Picked up some vintage glitter. I love glitter. I have a lot of glitter. I don't really need this glitter, so I'm gonna pull together a selection of vintage glitter, which I have done in the past, and it sells well on Etsy. So it was 50 cents, and you know, if I get a little collection, maybe 5 or 6, not all this big, hopefully I would get $20 for a collection like that. I picked up at Captain's Treasures, a local thrift store that is very nice. It's like a little boutique in Clifton Park. This was 50 cents. It's a pattern for a Bessie P. Gutmann design. You've probably seen this before in a print, little girl and her puppy. So I'm hoping to get $15 to $20 for that one. I went to an antique center in Coxsackie, New York. It's actually called Coxsackie Antique Center, last weekend with my husband, and they have a few things outside that are free. So of course I have to check. Found 7 hankies, and even if I just sell them for $1 as a fun something to have in my antique booth, but they could also sell in the right setting. I don't sell a lot of linen, so they don't sell great for me, but $2 to $3 is what their actual value is. There's a nice embroidered one. And then at a flea market that I like to go to in Ravenna, New York, while I was shopping, the owner came up and he said, "Would you like something like this?" 2 quilt squares. They were marked $5 each, and he said, "Oh, you can have them for $5 for both." And I have sold a number of quilt squares, none as beautiful as these or as elaborate, on Etsy. I think, I'm not sure if I'll sell them separately or together, but each one should go for about $20 is what I'm thinking. And then finally at another thrift store, actually it's called Reshop, similar to the Habitat Restore. There's a Reshop in our area in Boston Spa, and they had a basket of linens for $1. I try to avoid linens, like I said, that I don't sell a lot of them and they don't sell great for me, but isn't that a beautiful set? So perhaps on Etsy. $1 each. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? Specifically for lipstick. And then this just made me think of a French grain sack with a red, turkey red embroidery on it. I thought that was very pretty. And then an oval doily with extremely beautiful work on it. There's one, and there's the second one. Still has its price tag on there. Isn't that pretty? Hopefully they would sell for about $10. We'll see. Oh, here's one more piece of glass that I didn't show you. This is interesting because it's a blown glass piece with an applied handle, but it's made in Japan. I think it's marked on the bottom. They're made in Japan. It was 99 cents, and it should sell for about 10. It's got a distinctly mid-century modern sort of look to it that I thought was really interesting. Okay, so that's glass and linens and crafts, and I have a couple more things down here. A little silhouette, that was $1. It should sell for about 12. A pair of wooden silhouette children. They were 49 cents each. Trying to show it to you in front of the white. Those should sell for about $10 each. A couple of books, a Key of Heaven that will it's a little miniature book. Will look nice in a little miniature book stack, I think. And this is a new copy of The House at Pooh Corner. All Pooh books sell, whether they are antique or vintage or new. This was 99 cents at Goodwill, and it should sell for about $8 to $10. It has a price tag on the inside of $19.99. And 3 cookbooks. Cookbooks sell great for me. I hope they sell great for you. I have a couple of blog posts about cookbooks if you're interested in learning more. I don't tend to buy many new ones, but because the New York Times has been producing cookbooks for a long time, they tend to be very collectible. It was also 99 cents at Goodwill, and it has a price tag of $24.99, and it should sell for about $10 from my antique booth. That's where I sell most of them. If I find really old, unique ones that are valued at $20 or more, I will list it on eBay. Here's one Pennsylvania Dutch cookbook. Any Pennsylvania Dutch cookbook or cookbook pamphlet that I find, I pick up because they sell really, really well for me. This one was 99 cents, and it should sell for about $8 to $10. This is a vintage one. And then I sort of took a gamble on this one, the Vegetarian Epicure. I have heard of this one, and so I thought, well, that's worth 99 cents. And I will price it at $8 to $10. And we're down to, I believe, the last 2 items. I really want to hear what you think of this painting. I had to think about it. The colors I thought were really engaging. I liked the design. I thought it was very well proportioned, and it was $4. I will price it at $25 in my antique booth, although that's something that you could try on Etsy. It's very light because it's not framed, and so it would be easy to ship. And I did just list a small oil painting on Etsy, and it hasn't sold yet, but I'm waiting on that. And here is the final find. It's a record holder. Usually you see these for the small records. This is for a full-size 12 by 12, I think, album. I picked it up at Salvation Army in Clifton Park just as they were putting it on the shelf. It's $2.99. It is vintage with this great pop art design on it. I don't sell records. I don't sell mid-century modern. I have sold mid-century modern on eBay when I find something really fantastic like this one, and so that's where I will try to sell it. I'll research it on eBay for sure, but I think that will be desirable to a mid-century modern collector or an album collector. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed seeing my finds. I hope you leave a comment, become a subscriber, run on over to Adirondack Girl at Heart and check out my website. And as always, happy hunting.